All right, before we get this episode started, after you watch this, if you enjoy it, please remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video and my channel. A big thank you to you for that. Now, here's this week's episode. Hi everybody, welcome to season 6 of Rapant Outdoors 360, and it is May 3rd. I'm in northern Wisconsin for Cabin Open, but I'm heading down to central Wisconsin for my week of turkey hunting. I've drawn the third week period in Wisconsin, and I have a tag in central Wisconsin. Now, why am I up in northern Wisconsin driving down to central to hunt? Well, let's freeze that right here. If you remember last season's final episode entitled The Last Trip, you might remember why. But let's recap a little here, as there is a significant transition for RO360 starting in season 6. Now here's a quick look back. Oh no. Oh no. They're out here with the maple syrup. Look at this, they got lines strung up here. That's going to keep the deer off the food plot. They got buckets in the middle of the food plot. Well, I guess syrup overtakes hunting deer. So much for working on the food plot. Nobody mentioned a word to me about putting buckets out here when all we talked about it. Nobody said anything to me. But I mean, I'm coming out here to work on the plot. Craig didn't say, oh, by the way, there's buckets out there. Well, with all the human activity in here, why bother planting? I just spent 250 bucks on seeds I'm probably not going to use. Look at this, it's all the way back there too. What are you guys doing? You got all the access to the trees. And where are you? Here's the buckets on the food plot. But having all that acreage and putting it right on top of the food plot, I'm disappointed. But hey, it's not my land, so they do what they want. See the buckets out here. So I'm a little disappointed, but like I said, it's their choices. They can do what they want to do out here. But I know Craig says, well, every time we come out, we spook them out of here. They're there. Yeah, well, that's the point. It's not my land, but the point is, you're spooking them out of there, and you're going to start conditioning them. They're here, it's a safe area, and now you're intruding on it and spooking them. That's part of the problem. Like I said, there's just more human presence and human scent. So their theory is it doesn't bother the deer are still there anyways. My theory is you're conditioning the deer, so only time will tell. We've had real good success with big deer the last couple of years since we started the food plot, and we won't know the outcome of the tapping right here around the food plot until a couple of years down the road. So we'll just see what happens. We'll see whose theory is right. I was really anxious to complete a detailed data study of the effect of the increased human activity and the continual lingering human scent in and around the food plot, and its direct effect on whitetail movement in that specific area. So I was able to integrate that picture data into a comprehensive timeline from January 1st of 2023 to March 24th of 2023, a total study over an 83-day period. Total trail cam photos of deer were at 25.7%, or only 34 photos, showing a drop in the deer trail cam activity of 58.5% from February numbers, and a drop of 74.4% from the January data. Now, we all know that human activity and human scent will have a negative effect on whitetail movement, and we can all agree that nothing is 100% certain.
and you could still harvest deer under the current conditions at the food plot. But hunting is a game of putting the percentages in your favor. And I believe that my trail cam data mining research from the food plot area shows that the percentages took at least a 50% drop in harvest opportunities. And like I said, it'll take a few years to find out what the final full effect will be on whitetail movement and patterns here in central Wisconsin. Now, unfortunately, after March 24th, I was not provided with an opportunity to obtain any further trail cam data to extend this study. But I did take away one important fact. It only took a 43-day period for the white-tailed deer to become conditioned enough to make a major change in their movement patterns. And it's my theory that the longer the maple sap permanent collection setup continues, the more conditioning of the deer will take place, to the point of a permanent change will happen in their movement patterns. And as a side note, I found out from some RO360 crew members about 11 months later that a new food plot was established northwest of the original one. After receiving a detailed text message from my brother-in-law Craig about 3 weeks after this episode was filmed, I have decided to accept his strongly suggested challenge and encouragement not to hunt his private land in central Wisconsin. So, starting next season on RO360's Season 6, I will be exclusively hunting public land throughout the state of Wisconsin, or I'll be up at the Vantagie camp in north central Wisconsin. Now, I'm looking forward to this challenge, and I hope to bring you new insights on my encounters and challenges in the pursuit of hunting public land here in the state of Wisconsin. So we decided to make northern Wisconsin the cabin, the base of operations while I open the cabin, and I will drive down to central Wisconsin for turkey hunts for a couple of days. So I'm going to get about 2, maybe 3 days of a turkey hunt in and see what happens. The one new challenge we're going to do this season is I've accepted a public hunting challenge. We're fortunate enough to have a lot of land to hunt in various areas of the state, and also fishing. So this season it's going to be exclusively public hunting for turkey and deer. So we'll see you down central Wisconsin chasing them big toms. Well, it didn't take long for me to experience my very first public hunting problem of the season. All right, so my first attempt at public hunting this year, my original spot that I've hunted in the past, and I pulled some nice toms out of. I pulled in there, got everything ready. In fact, I was just pulling a shotgun out of the case to take a walk out and get set up, and the DNR came in, and they're going to do a prescribed burn in the area, but I don't want to be around where they're burning and stuff, so scratch that spot this morning. A short time later, at my second location, the public hunting problem continued. So now I move to a second spot, but I see there's a car here. We've got a hunter in here. I don't want to screw up anybody else's hunt. The challenge this season is going to be public land for turkey and bow, and we see what we do. So some of the stuff you run into, I'm sure everybody runs into problems like this, and you can be ethical, or you can crowd somebody. So like I said, we're going to sit here. I'm going to listen for some calls and see if I hear anything. And if I do, and I know where that hunter is, and I got an option to go in a different direction, far enough away from him, and not screw up his hunt, I'll try that. So we'll give this about 20 minutes and listen for some calls. And if not, I know there's somebody out here. I don't know where he is. I'm not going to go out there and screw up his hunt. You want to be ethical when you're hunting. You know, it's not always about you and your hunt. You know, so you don't want to ruin anybody else's hunt either. So, all right, we're going to hang out here for about 20 minutes, see if we hear any calls, and if I can pinpoint that other hunter, and
If I got an option to go in another direction, I will. Otherwise, we're going to go pick another spot. So stick with us. We'll be hunting eventually today. Okay, so right now I've got my map out. And years ago when they had the multiple turkey zones, I had marked up a map with all sorts of public hunting in the area. I got my notes for areas to hunt. So while I'm sitting here waiting to see if we can hear that other hunter to get an option to hunt over here, I'm looking for my next spot. Alright, well, we gave it to 20 minutes and I don't hear another hunter calling anywhere in the area, so I cannot pinpoint them. But the idea here was if I could pinpoint that hunter if he was calling sporadically, I figured within 20 minutes they probably should put out a couple of yelps. He may be deep or I could hunt shallow, but not knowing exactly where that hunter is, I'm not about to walk in and screw up his hunt. So I've already checked the maps. You've seen me looking before. Catch you at our next location. And finally, my third stop was the Charm. Alright, it's 10 after 9. We found a spot. We've wasted about an hour, 15 minutes, hour and a half looking for a spot here so I don't encroach somebody else's hunt. But I am southwest of the two areas that I looked to hunt that were close together. And we're heading out. I had some good bird action in this area in the past. Now, years ago, when they had a lot more zones, they had a lot smaller sectional zones. Right now, I think the state's got 7. I think we had 30 or 40 zones for hunting turkey. And I couldn't always get our property, or my brother-in-law's property, to hunt. So I would come out here with my son, scout, and we found a lot of public land that we've hunted. And this particular spot is an area that I had 3 or 4 big toms coming in, and I had the shotgun on them, and I was so intent waiting for them to come into range. All of a sudden this brown blob come into view through my sights of my shotgun, and I'm like, what the hell? I look, kind of pan back, and there's a deer. I didn't even see the deer come in. I was so intent on them birds. Needless to say, I didn't get those. That busted that hunt. But this has been a good area. This is, there's a creek bed down here that runs, and we'll see what happens. Because I got to do a lot of walking, I've really scaled down my gear. So I'm going to apologize ahead of time for the quality that may be on the camera. I'll be holding it, or I've got a short stand that I can carry. So I'm going to be mobile this morning. So again, the challenge of turkey hunting public land. All right, we're hunting. I'm going to get down in here close to the water, a little closer to the water, and then I'm going to do a couple of yelps. And, there's a trail. Looks like a deer trail. We're going to follow this. Okay, we're going to get down here, and I'm going to do a call. Do a couple of yelps with my box call. Yeah, this is tore up pretty good. We're on a good deer trail. Okay, before I break out in the open here, I'm going to apologize ahead of time for the camera, but I'm going to try to videotape my calling. Let's see if we hear anything. No reply. Alright, we're going to start heading east because I know this opens up into an opening, and now we're just going to keep our eyes peeled. So I'm going to shut the camera off for a while so you got an idea what we're doing. We're kind of running and gunning this morning. So I'll videotape as I can. Right here I'm going to show you, this is the first turkey sign I've seen in the woods. Okay, right here, turkey scratching as it pulled back. This is the first scratching. But what's odd is I don't see any other in the area here. I got down in a little swampy area, nothing. I went west, nothing. I'm coming back east, closer to the roads. A lot of deer sign, a lot of deer tracks, trails, but this is the first turkey sign I've run across. So I know as I go east, there's an opening, and that's where I want to kind of set up, sit for a while and call from. All right, like I said, we'll videotape as we can. All right, we're going to keep heading east. Stick with us. All right, we finally got to our spot that I remembered from, 10, 15 years ago. It was a heck of a hike in here, and other than seeing one turkey sign and some scratchings back west, that was it. So I don't know how well this is going to do, but I'm not interfering with anybody's hunt. And the fact I didn't see any cars around here may be the reason I only saw a little bit of turkey sign, but they're in the area. They're around here. I'm going to work on this thing. I'm going to set up here, and we're going to give it a couple hours at this spot. So. All right, our tree trimming's done. Take a look at it and we'll get set up.
Now I know this was the correct area I hunted years ago by coordinating the intersection of the two roads that pass by this corner of the public land. But it certainly didn't look anything like it did 20 years ago when I last hunted it in 2001 and 2002.
Oh, this is the opening that I hunted before. I think I was under those pines over there because I remember it was a circle of pine trees, but this was all grass. This shit all grew up in here. So
here's a peek at what this area looked like in May of 2002.
Okay, I'm out at Waushara County Public Hunting Ground. This is the same area I was in last spring.
It's amazing how nature can transform the landscape in 20 plus years.
So, like I said, the challenge is public hunting for turkey this season. And this is the spot I hunted before. It's drastically changed. I did a lot of walking this morning, calling. Time to park this old man's butt and just relax and call and see if we can bring a late morning, early afternoon Tom looking for love into this spot. We're finally set up in an area where there's no other hunters. We're going to let the woods settle down for a while now, and we're going to just sit and call for a couple of hours, maybe 3 or 4, and see what happens. See if we can get a big Tom walking in on us. So we'll see how this all plays out. So anyways, stick with us. We're going to give it a half hour here or so, let the woods settle down, then we'll do some calling. I can hear grouse drumming out there. It's about the 4th or 5th time I heard them. Let's see what happens. I had a head right here. She come in looking. She's behind that tree someplace, clucking away. Damn it, I couldn't get the camera. She was looking right at me. Yeah, she was right here by these, where's my finger? She was right on the other side of these scrubs, looking right at me. I'm going to try some soft putts and purrs, see what happens. So that hen action was right around 11:30, about 15 minutes after I did some yelping on my box call. But she was so close, she was probably 10, 12 yards from me and looking right under this tree. I tried to move slow, but I spooked her a little bit, and she gave out that kind of like an alarm putt, but just kind of like a caution putt. She wasn't, it wasn't that yelp, 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 yelp. It was just a yelp, yelp, yelp. It had an intense sound to it though. And then she didn't run, but she was walking pretty fast away from me then. So then I thought I'd just go for the camera and try to get her on camera, but I got the camera up, she was behind that tree. I didn't get her on film, so that was pretty good though. 11:30, we had a live hen in here. We're just going to sit tight. I was thinking about moving one last time if we didn't get any action. But we did, so I think we're just going to sit tight here. We'll work the calls a little bit, and we got hens coming through here. We may have some toms coming through. Well, unfortunately, that hen was my lone turkey encounter of the day. However, a little later, I did have a run-in with some whitetail to the west of me. If you watch closely, you'll see I picked them up on the video in the tree line through the tall grass that was in front of me. Okay, I think we're going to call it. I was going to hunt till 3:30, but I see some dark clouds on the horizon coming this way, and I got about a half-hour walk back to the truck, so we're going to pack this up and hustle out of here. So that's where I was set up. That was my blind, and I'm walking out. We're going to pull out, and look what I find. A nice shed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5-point shed. Very cool. Yeah, couldn't get the camera out quick enough. I just spooked the deer right over here. Just spooked the deer from right over here. Just saw the tail flash. Hey, let's take a moment now and look back at some close encounters of the turkey kind on this public hunting parcel during past seasons.
Now, back in 2001, this Tom decides to play peekaboo. Then he has the audacity to moon me. Next, he's playing hide and seek between the trees. I was really hoping he'd get close enough to start playing tag. Then, in 2004, check out these two bad boys. Now, this area has always produced big toms when I was around, except for today.
Well, this was my first choice this morning, and the DNR advised me that they had a burn going on here, a prescribed burn in this area. And I usually hunt, back in there by the trees. But you can see this is all burnt down. They're all done. I'll be able to get in here tomorrow. And even the DNR guy said, hey, come back a day later. If you can come back tomorrow, he says, the burn has a tendency to bring the birds in. So we'll see. We'll be here tomorrow morning. I just wanted to check it out, make sure they were done and what it looked like. Back-to-back weeks I had 2 tags. And out of the same blind, back-to-back weeks, I harvested 2 20-plus pound birds. It was a nice hunt. So they're all done, and yeah, definitely I will be in here. And so my first day of hunting public land came to a close. Now, we had a few issues to resolve before we could start hunting this morning. Plus, the 2.5-hour drive from our base camp up at the lake cabin in northern Wisconsin didn't help either. Now, the first day of my public hunting threw a few challenges at me for sure, and my learning curve has begun. But I'm looking forward to the challenges and encounters as I pursue hunting on public land here in the state of Wisconsin. Hey, thanks for coming along today. And remember, here at Rapant Outdoors 360, we're keeping it real. We're going to show you all of our successes and all of our attempts. After all, it's all about the journey in pursuit of your outdoor goals, as well as your successes. And I hope to bring you more of my encounters and challenges on this public hunting quest here in the state of Wisconsin. Now, make sure to join us on our next episode, which features day 2 of our spring turkey hunt. And as always, if you fish, hunt, or just spend time in the great outdoors, remember to practice CCR. catch, conserve, replenish. Make sure that those resources are available for future generations. Hey, see you guys on the next episode.